Hi everyone, welcome to BME Stories here at BME, where we get to know more about our clients, our friends here at BME, to know their personal experiences on how to get on their life right now, how they're doing, and everything about that. So, if you like the sound of that, help me welcome Joyce Barro, our Senior Executive Assistant in this show. Hi Joyce, how are you?
Hello, Witty Wacky Wally. I'm good, thank you, and thanks for having me.
Sure thing, that's great to hear. So before anything else, I'd like to ask you uh the first thing or the first date when you start with BME. When was that?
Oh, actually, that was 10 years ago. No, that's a joke. Actually, I started with BME on the 19th of November. That was back in 2020.
Oh, that's very recent. But were you doing the same role before you get to
Mm,
BME?
actually, no, I was a former OFW, that's an overseas Filipino worker. I
Mm-hmm.
actually worked in Riyadh for like about 6 years. I was an executive assistant, executive secretary to the owner and CEO, and also I worked as an event coordinator to one of our catering companies.
All right, sounds great. But before you went to BME, what was your impression about the company?
Well, at first, I was honestly nervous because it's like diving into um, deep waters where I don't know what is um, what is going to be in front of me when I will be chosen as one of the employees. So I was quite nervous when I was scheduled for the interview.
All right, that's very honest. So you were nervous before, but how about now? How do you feel?
Well, I actually enjoy the life here in BME. I'm already a year over with my stay here at BME, and I actually enjoy every bit of it because
Mm-hmm.
the environment here is actually different. It's like a family environment. It's like a family business where
Mm-hmm.
you get to be involved in everything because of how transparent the management is, especially the owners.
Right. Sounds awesome to work at BME, but what are the things that you like about BME? So you were nervous before you mentioned, but
Mhm.
what helped you in overcoming those nervous feeling or jittery feeling while when you start working at BME?
Um, on the first interview, um, I was nervous at a few seconds of it, but during the course of the interview, I felt at home because Jess was there and Christian was there. Of course, they asked crucial questions on how I could be of um, help or I could be an asset of BME. So I just laid down all my cards and they allowed me to speak about myself, my experiences, and how related is that to the position that I was applying for. And on the final interview, of course, with the client and boss A was there. So the feeling is the same. I got nervous at the onset of the call, but then when you get to be conversational with them, it's actually like a personal conversation about um, the company and how you can contribute and how you could be an asset. So
Sounds like a good start, but for sure you were not familiar with the ins and outs of the company at the beginning. Who
mhm.
was your go-to person back then?
My mentor is actually Christian, and I'm so proud of that because he was always there to answer all my queries. And especially, he's living up the 5 minute rule, which is
Mm-hmm.
actually one of the most popular um, principles that we have here at BME. If you're stuck at something or if something confuses you, you may actually ask any person here at BME. But my go to person is Christian. He trained me, and the transfer of knowledge was very easy for him because he never he never left any cards unturned. So when I transitioned from training to working full time, everything was actually in place, and he's always there to guide me anytime.
All right. For sure, I know Christian, your mentor, is watching at this moment. What would you like to say to Christian if you're given a chance?
Oh, of course. I would first of all, I'd like to thank him um, for being very frank and very being very clear in every task that he gives me, and in everything like um, like the BME guiding principles. He was very clear in discussing it with me, and in onboarding me with the client. He was always there to support even all the applications, all the templates, everything that I needed to be successful with my job here. He was very, very supportive, and I salute him for that.
That's great. So, Christian, take note of that. This person loves you so much. All right.
Of
And
course.
also, heart. I love it. All right. So, for sure, you mentioned about the 5 minute rule. So, it is indeed a tool and a culture at the same time. So, talking about that, I want to know more about the culture that you have observed here at BME. What can you say about it?
The culture here is actually very laid back, and we are an inclusive, all-inclusive company. We do not There's no discrimination at all regarding age. You know, how young you are, how old you are, whether what gender you are, or what gender preference you have. They don't judge you. They What's important with them is that you show up, and then you give your 200% with the work that is given to you. So I really love the atmosphere here at BME.
All right, that sounds great. And also, I would like to know what was the most down moments here at BME. For sure, it's not always a heyday here, but what is the most challenging circumstance that you face at some point?
Oh, I didn't expect you to ask me that question, but this is kind of personal to me. You got me to this. So, the the most down part, as you call it, I believe was the time when um, Odette, the super typhoon Odette, actually left a wrath here in Cebu. I really, really thought that I have no work to go back to because I was actually absent from work, of course, due to no electricity, no internet connection, no communication at all, no cell phone signals. So I'm unable to reach out to Christian or to anybody here in the Philippines who is working with me here at BME. So there were several days um, that it was like a nightmare to me, thinking every night that I'm supposed to be working, and now it's pitch black here at home. There's no electricity and very silent, no music and all, no laughter, no chatting and all. So, to make the long story short, when we were able to leave our place and go to another town to like fill up our cars with gas and petrol so we can do other errands, and that alone is a very tedious task because you need to line up just for you to get your car filled with petrol. So during that time there was a signal at that municipality, so I tried my luck to send messages to Christian, and I even said, Christian, I'm not sure if you're going to receive this because even I tried to call, no numbers will ever ring. It will just um, beep at once, and then that's about it. So I just sent him a message. It's like a suicide message. It's like, oh, it's you receive it or you don't. But I told him I'm really sorry. I'm unable to go back to work, and then there was no reply. So it was days until We went to another town to look for water because water is scarce here in our area as well. Drinking water, I mean. So when we went to that municipality, I was surprised because Christian tried to call me. So when my phone rang, I immediately answered Christian's call, and then he was like, "Oh, how are you? It's great that I was able to contact you. We've been trying to contact you for several days now." And I was like, "Really? You were trying to contact me?" I really thought that every, of course, BME will definitely continue its business as usual. So I never thought that BME will try to even reach out to me. I'm just one of those employees. And then they tried to reach out, and then they were so concerned about my situation. And Boss Gabe even sent me a personal message in Facebook Messenger, and he was like, he asked how I was and my family, and he told me that's the very sentimental line that I've read, and which I also heard from Christian, and it made me emotional. I was actually in tears inside the car when I heard Christian's voice, and it was a message from Boss Gabe saying, "It doesn't matter. You have to fix whatever it is that you need to fix first. Focus on that. You can actually come back to work even in February. I really don't care. Just take care of your family first and take care of the things that you need to do." So that was the down moment, but it was um, an enlightening moment as well. Not that it made me think that, oh, BME is not just a so-so company. BME is not just an international company. BME is like a family to me because they are concerned and they want me back to work. So it's just a sentimental. I just don't want to cry.
No worries at all. We're happy to have you back here, Joyce. I was actually wondering at that time. It was, I guess, more than a week when you were no show at the company. So I was asking Christian about it, and then I found out that you were working with Ivy at some point in one of the coffee shops
Yeah.
available in the place.
Mhm.
So I felt somewhat relieved at that point when I heard that you're okay and working with her.
Oh,
And
thank
well,
you.
that's great to hear that you have our boss game Christian reaching out to you. But I just want to know as well, for sure you have worked with other companies as well. What
Mhm.
difference uh, did you see at BME that is not uh, demonstrating or showing in other companies that you work from?
Okay, first of all, the transparency from this from the founder, CEO, and the owner, Boss Gabe and Boss Rachel. Um, I I haven't encountered a huge company such as PME who is willing to be transparent in regards to like profits and all with its employees. With BME, everything is transparent, and they've always been thinking on how to better their employees. Um, I haven't um, I haven't uh, met any like other companies with independent contractors who offered like HMOs or medical insurances. But with BME, especially with the pandemic that we're still um, living with right now because we can't do anything about it, but BME did something about it. They had us covered with medical insurances. And aside from that, you can never find a company that will give you a profit share, right? And without you shelling out a certain amount in that sense. But with BME, they don't ask you to shell out any amount. They just share with you their profits. All you have to do is to show up, be there, and do the best that you can at work. So it's totally a cut above the rest. That's what I can say about BME.
I'm happy to hear that from you, Joyce. So you mentioned that you became better when you started working with BME. So, what are the things that you think that made you a better person when you started working at BME?
Um, One of those was I became more organized than I was before. I was organized, but not as much as I am here um, since I've been a virtual assistant when I joined here, and I also became flexible because when I joined BME, I was actually one of the hybrid team members. I worked as a virtual assistant for a VVIP client. And aside from that, I also work as a blog post specialist with WorkWave. So I enjoyed the best of both worlds. So with that being said, it, it, it made my personality become better in adapting to any situation. You see, I've been cross-trained to almost anything in BME, so I can fully support within the organization. So with BME, learning is not a problem. They can train you at no cost at all. So I've been very grateful.
All right, indeed, this company gave you a great milestone in everything that you do, especially in terms of your professional work. And I'm
Mhm.
also happy with that from you, Joyce. Also,
Thank you.
what is the most challenging task that you work at BME?
The most challenging, I believe, was the first task, the first position that I was into, which was a virtual assistant for a VVIP client. So I was really nervous. I never had an experience of being a virtual assistant, but of course, uh, Boss Gabe, uh, Jess, Jess O, and Christian trusted me, and they gave me a chance, and I didn't, I didn't put them down. What I did was I absorbed all the trainings that I needed to undergo, and then I showed up and did my best. So that was the most challenging for me to even at least be given credit by our VIP client. But I'm so glad that I've been hearing nice feedbacks from Boss Gabe personally, passed on by my previous client. Can I mention her name? It's Upon
Sure.
Savino.
Yeah, I
I gave
also
a
read
thumbs up.
that as your title. When I saw the chat box, it's your current designation, but I clarified with Jetro, how are you doing now?
Mhm.
But also, I'm happy that you are doing great with everything that you have. But I just want to know as well, what is the tip that you'd like to share our viewers right now on how you succeed in the task that you're currently doing and performing with BME?
Oh, the tip that I just want to share with everyone is for you to be open minded and be like a sponge. Age doesn't matter, regardless of how old you are or how young you are, regardless of your gender. If there's new information, if there's new trainings, be like a sponge. Absorb everything while it's free. Because with free trainings, you can actually learn more, perform more, and do the best and be the best version that you can be in every role that BME will be able to give you. Just like me, I started as a VA and they promoted me as a senior VA. So that means a lot to me. So give 200% of what you can give to the company that you love. Love your work. That's very important. And be grateful in everything.
Fantastic. So we all have to be a yes man here, but for sure we need to clarify something if something is unclear, right?
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
that's very great. And also, I believe you're mentioning about your age, so I won't be asking that foul question, perhaps. So just to rectify that, so we don't grow old here at BME. We're just getting classic, right? Remember that, Joyce. No need to worry
Yeah.
about the age. So we all look younger because you're happy people here, so no worries about that. Okay. And
Thank you,
also,
Ollie.
no worries at all. So this is 2022. So what
Mhm.
are you most excited about this year at BME?
Oh, I'm most excited about seeing BME grow. As in, I've witnessed it grow since the year that I joined. It was the later part of 2020, but I've seen it grow hugely, immensely in the year that was 2021. So I'm expecting and I'm excited to see BME grow into a more enormous um, marketing engine. So that's what I'm excited about.
Right. Couldn't agree more. So we have people here who are supportive and helping one another in every way. So I'm
Mhm.
happy to be a part of this as well. And
Yes.
also, this is a quick reveal. So, by the way, viewers, Joyce is our paparazzi whenever somebody celebrates his birthday or anniversary here. So, what's your technique in trying to choose the best photo that you want to present in the team during our daily team huddles or even some occasions that we meet together as a company?
There's actually no technique. It's just about knowing the person. We work virtually, but the daily huddle is actually um, a very different venue where you'll be able to learn about the personality of each of the team members. So when I get the chance to choose any of the photos that I see on social media, I choose the best photo that resonates the personality of the one that we're uh, greeting. So it's they're the celebrants, so it has to embody their personality. Like you, you're witty and wacky. You're the only Wally here at BME.
Yeah, it's Wall-E. Just remember the animated cartoon movie, right? Okay.
Right.
So perhaps I need to start deleting some pictures. Okay. I'll try to keep them from me and make it private so you won't be
Please
able to
don't block
grab
me.
any from my profile pics on Facebook. All right. So if you will be given a chance or you will have to send a message to everyone, um, given a chance that you are being offered very well in other companies, if there is something better than here, what would be your second thoughts of leaving BME or staying at BME?
Actually and honestly, I wouldn't have. There is no reason that I can find that I will be leaving BME, unless, of course, BME decides that I'm not functioning the way I should be anymore with BME. Perhaps that's the only time that BME will let me go, and I will have to train my mind and my heart that I will have to leave BME if that happens, if we reach that path.
All right, we will all be watching BME succeed more and we will stay together as one. All right, so for the final question for you, what will be
Thank you,
your
sir.
message to everyone? Something that would inspire us as well, me as your host, to move forward with everything that we do here at BME. Any parting question? Any parting statements or inspiring words, Joyce?
Um, what I can say is that if you really love your work, it will show in the daily things that you do, in the daily task that's given to you. You will definitely excel. And with the company that we have here, with the owners and Boss Gabe, our CEO and founder, and Boss Rach, our CFO and owner, uh, both owners are actually um, they both actually have immeasurable concern to their employees. And if a company is concerned about the welfare of their employees, then there's no doubt that these employees will not perform their best, right? So if you acknowledge your employee, all the more that these employees will be inspired to give more than what they are expected to give. So
All right.
that's
I
what I
agree
can
to
say.
that. So they give more than they could give at the moment, so they're very generous. And
Yes.
if I see you leaving BME Joyce, I sure will catch you and pursue you for whatever and bring you back here to BME, all right? Get that?
Sureness, but you have to subscribe to my channel. Ah, great, just kidding.
All right. Well, it was fun talking to you, Joyce. And well, for the viewers, that's it for now for BME Stories. I hope you enjoyed the episode with Joyce Barro, our Senior Executive Assistant.
Thank
And
you.
well, thank you, everybody. I'm your host, Wally. So see you next time. Have a good one.
Have a good one.